That's our first win in the books. Not the best, but hopefully, this does not turn into another UBL situation and we actually win our second game after winning our first one. Let's see what happens. Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, coach of your Wrexham Whalers, and welcome to week 2 of the CLTU. Last week, if you missed it, definitely go check it out. We actually picked up our W in our first week in the league. We picked up a 2-0 win, and our opponent this week also did the exact same, and he's also in our division. We are dealing with Rabe Regas. I hope to God I pronounced his name right, or his handle right, but he is the coach that we're going up against this week. He's coach of the Saffron Soul Rocks, and he also won 1-0. He's 1-0 with a 2-0 win. But anyways, the Saffron Soul Rocks, their team is here right for you guys now. Consists of Cinderace, Megaladios, Melmetal, Weavile, Porygon Z, T-Serena, Diancie, Golisopod, the Alolan Raichu, Reungerus, I think, and Thwaki. But yeah, so the Cinderace he has on his team is Libero, so that obviously makes it a little bit more difficult. If you're not familiar with Libero, it's basically Protein for Greninja. I know some of you guys are still Gen 7 heads that are coming in and not quite too certain what Gen 8 is. I'm the same. Don't worry, we're all in this together. But yeah, he's able to change his moves, right? So change the typing, his own typing. So when he clicks, not just Pyro Ball is his main move, but when he clicks Sucker Punch, Gunk Shot, U-Turn, High Jump Kick, he'll turn into those moves all turn to stab moves, and that's quite a nuisance. The Megaladios is really powerful. It was a Mega that I've always kind of wanted to use, but then it slowly got pushed up, especially towards the end of Gen 6 because of how troublesome it was to deal with. And if to be fair, it's fair enough. I can understand why it was probably banned, but it's allowed here, so we have to try and deal with that. Melmetal is an issue because that thing can be very, very difficult. Weavile as well, traditionally very, very difficult to deal with as well. But then he's also got a couple of Pokemon that can really like slow us down. Golisopod is a nuisance to us, a real nuisance, so we got to be able to deal with that. And he's also got another couple of Pokemon that can wall us, so he's got ways and means to trouble our team, but I think we have ways and means to punish him, and hopefully we can do that. So let me show you the team. So first up we got Dash, Omega Blaziken, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Source Nest is the moveset. I was going back and forth, Ice Punch, Brave Bird, U-Turn, but I got talked into using U-Turn because more than likely or not we will want to be pivoting out with U-Turn quite frequently. I was really wanting Brave Bird to deal with Golisopod, and I needed to be running a Brave Bird rather than Acrobatics or Aerial because a full Fizz Def Golisopod is a problem. It's an absolute problem. And then we've slowly died to recoil, which it sucks. So anyways, that's the moveset. 180 speed for max speed Porygon Z. I do not know how good these coaches are in this league. I just don't, right? If it was we were in FIPA, for instance, right, I know that people will not be like the coaches I'd be going up against will not put max speed in Porygon Z. I would know that for a fact, and I'd be a lot more comfortable going to like say put in an investment where I know what my opponent more likely go to, so I'd be able to like spread out EVs a lot more. But unfortunately I do not know, so I have to assume max speed Porygon Z could be a bring, so I have to bring max speed Blaziken. I can't really take away some of the EVs from attack because I need the 252 attack in order to smack the Megaladios, and I need it to be able to smack the Golisopod as hard as I possibly can. That's basically it. Hopefully we can sweep with it. That's the game plan. Well, break. Mainly, I want Mega Blaziken to break this week. After that, we got Nagato, our Ash Greninja, holding the Expert Belt, and I want this thing to sweep. This is the Pokemon I actually want to sweep. Mega Blaziken, let that break. Ash Gren, hopefully you can sweep. Dark Pulse, Scald, Ice Beam, and U-Turn is the moveset. I have a feeling we're going to force the hold all U-turns because, as I said previously, and I'm going to keep saying this again, Ash Gren, whenever it's going to get a kill, is going to force a Pokemon in every time because no one wants to give Greninja Battle Bond. And that's perfectly fine. So hopefully we can capitalize that with U-Turn rather than Spikes this week because I'm bringing Klefki, and you'll see that in a moment. We have enough special attack EVs to make sure that we always 2-hit KO a Megaladios. We always 2-hit KO a Soft Vest T-Serena with no Split F investment. And that's basically it. If we're able to get Battle Bond, we're fantastic. We have enough speed to make sure the Greninja outspeeds Cinderace as well. So works like a treat, and the rest is put in HP. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. After that, we're bringing Nerve, our Tornadus Therian, and this thing better do work, right? I've been told so many times this Tornadus better do work. I'm hoping it does work this week. It's making this Wexford Wayload debut. Rocking out with heavy duty boots because I need it to be able to come in on Cinderace. This is our Cinderace answer, right? U-turn, knockoff, Hurricane, Heatwave is the move set. I really wanted to run Defog here, and I was running to form of Sauce Syndrome, but I eventually made the decision we have to run knockoff, we have to run U-turn, we have to run Hurricane, we have to run Heatwave, right? And you could say to me, Irish, why don't you bring a Soft Vest? The reason why we're bringing heavy duty boots with as much Fizz Def as we are is because this bulk would mean that regardless of the spikes that are on the field, I'll always be able to come in if I'm at full HP on a Cinderace that doesn't have an attack boosting move like Life Orb or something of that ilk, and make sure that we never that it's always a 3 KO. So he can never two-shot us. It's always a 3 KO. We come in and Cinderace has to kick Pyro Ball 3 times, let's say, right? So that's what this bulk is for. Now, if he's Life Orb, different situation, but we can also play around that where I can then pivot out with my Tornadus with U-turn and go into the Swampert, and Swampert with the Rocky Helmet can then get the chip on the Cinderace that we need, and then flip turn, bring the Tornadus. You can see where I'm going along with this. We can pivot around it and slowly chip away at the Cinderace. But because I have I'll show Swampert in a moment, but Swampert's going to be the Melmetal answer. But because Swampert might have to fill that role as well with Tornadus, I need another Pokemon that can hit Melmetal quite hard and take hits from it. So that's the reason why I need Heatwave this week. So that's Tornadus, right? Hopefully it can do the work. It's the primary Cinderace answer, and depending on what Cinderace set it is, we might have to play around a little bit and have this thing also be able to do with Melmetal. After this, we have Keysar Klefki making his Wexford Wayload debut as well. Thunderwave, Spikes, Play Rough, Defog is the moveset. I need Defog because this guy's able to get rocks with the Melmetal quite easily. Can get Spikes up with Gallus Spot potentially, so it's a little bit of a nuisance. I want Spikes up ourselves, just be able to get that chip damage, potentially get Battle Bond and allow Mega Blaziken to break a little bit easier. We have Play Rough for Weavile and Defog. This is going to be our primary Weavile answer. Weavile is a bit of a nuisance for our team, so Klefki is the answer for it. I have enough Spadef. I'll touch on Spadef first. I have enough Spadef where a Choice, Specs, Timid, Porygon Z can never 2 KO us. So it's always a 3 KO. I have a touch of attack, a physical attack, so that we always have a slight chance of 1-hit KOing the Weavile with Play Rough, and then the rest is gone into Fizz Def to make sure that we can sponge hits off Weavile quite easily. This is our primary Weavile answer. We want this to come in on Weavile when we see it and just be an absolute nuisance. Click Play Rough when we see Weavile in front of us, or click Spikes if we can see it switching, and go from there. So after Klefki, we are bringing our Voodoo, our Galarian Slowking, and again, some similar to what we saw last week with the AV, but totally different EV spread this week. I'm bringing 248 HP, 248 in defense, and this basically allows me to live a hit from a mixed Mega Latios with an EQ. So let's say the Mega Latios only has like 4 in attack, 4 EVs in attack, and it's got the EQ. We will live. We not only do we live a hit, we cannot be 2 AKO'd with an EQ. So that means that we can sponge 1 EQ and take go for the foul play, sponge another one, go for a foul play, then pivot around, which is fantastic. So that's a really big help. And then if he's like a D-Dance set, we can live a +1 EQ2 with that bulk, so that's awesome. I then have 8 EVs in speed to make sure I'm not going to be sped crept, because that can happen. And then I have the 4 in attack to make just a little bit more damage. Foul play is there for the Mega Latios in case it's some D-Dance set, and Foul Play and Ice Beam did the exact same thing for us against Mega Latios essentially, so Foul Play is there for that. Flamethrower for the Melmetal, Sludge Bomb as our main stamina to hit the T-Serena, which is quite nice. And then we have Scald as our for the Regenerous. I'm going to butcher that name constantly. Awful. And the last one of these, as I mentioned earlier, I'm this not the Mega Swampert, but Swampert. Big Papa Pump is coming this week. Rocky Helmet. I have enough Fizz left to make sure Choice Band Melmetal is never going to AKOs. Beautiful. Then after that I got Rocks, so I can set my Rocks, Hazard Stack, Flip Turn, Pivot Around, High Horsepower, so I can get hit off on the Melmetal if he has the grassy terrain, because he has Milwaukee and he did bring it last week, so I have to make sure I have the high horsepower there to be able to hit, because that is not nerfed with the terrain, and an Ice Punch for the T-Serena. Now you're probably wondering what the speed is there for, and the speed is actually there for a 0 speed T-Serena. So if we see 0 speed T-Serena, we have enough speed to be able to not just outspeed it, but also slightly speed creep it, and then the rest of the EVs there are on attack. But yeah, that's the team. Let's get up into the battle. Alright you guys, here we are in the battle. We see Golisopod, Diancie, Weavile, Cinderace, Porygon and Thwackey. Interesting squad here, has to be said. Surprised that we did not see the Mega Latios. Surprised that we have not seen the we do see the Cinderace, but I'm surprised that we have not seen the Melmetal. So a little bit of a few surprises here. That Golisopod for me is screaming my Mega Blaziken answer and screaming Ash Grand answer right there. So have an idea that that's probably going to be some Fizz Def AV set. It could be banded as well. So we got to really watch out for that. We have Swampert there to kind of deal with that, help us deal with that Golisopod a little bit by getting the chip with the Rocket Helmet and such, because we have no Melmetal, which is very, very nice. When I look at this team though, I kind of think we might want to deal with our Klefki, because Weavile is a very, very tasty lead there. So we might do that. We have our Galarian, so we can deal with the Porygon too, which is very, very nice. I'm liking what we've seen. I'm liking what we see. If we can break down the Golisopod, that opens up the door entirely for our Greninja. The Thwackey we need to get a little bit chip as well, but it's mainly Golisopod. If we can break through the Golisopod with our team, then we're going to be in very, very good shape, and we can do that with Torn, and as well we're just getting general chip on his team. So anyways, I'm going to leave with the Klefki because he might leave with the Weavile, and that'd be very, very nice to start with. He does indeed leave with the Cinderace. I'm going straight into my Tornadus. I'm not dealing with this. Like, just Tornadus is here to deal with that threat in particular. So I'm just switching out. What is his Torn answer? There is a very, very good question. Does he go out into the Weavile then straight away? I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. Now, if he does go out into Weavile, can I afford Weavile to take? Can I afford Torn to take a hit off the Weavile? I doubt it. And to be honest, I shouldn't. We are taking nothing. Well, let's see what he wants to go for. He doesn't need to go for the U-turn. That's fair. That is fair. Whereas he does indeed go into the Weavile before that. We are going to go back down to our Klefki. Now, obviously, that looks like it does look very passive on that. That does not look. Does that look banded to me? Does that look banded? On the Klefki. Let's take a look at my keys. We see the Icicle Crash, not the Triple Axle. Icicle Crash, that is banned. Right, okay, cool. Good to know. So you are banded. Alright. I don't think he stays in. I think he's crazy if he does. I think he might want to go out into something. I think he might want to go out into Cinderace. So for that, I do want to set up the layer of spikes. Let me just drop down at the Weavile equals banded based on the damage. But I do want to get a layer of spikes off. I do not want to go for a play rough here. I don't think, not yet. I know this thing's banded, so that's good enough intel for me. And we can just probably play around it after that. We're going to go for the spikes. One layer of spikes off here. Very, very tasty. He has actually got no way of removing hazards this game. If you look at him, like, he's got nothing. So he's going to have to force his way to get hazards, and he knows he's got free hazards here, right? He knows he's got it. He does indeed go into this Golisopod in order to try and potentially get up hazards himself. I'm going to go out to my Tornadus here as he goes for the liquidation. We eat that up. We do get that defense drop, which is very unfortunate, but I can't see him wanting to stay in here because he's going to have to take a potential Hurricane. So I do think I can just go for either a knockoff or a U-turn. Now, do I want to knock off? Who does he come in here? Does he bring in the Diancie? I think he might want to bring in the Diancie. Now, if he does, I could bring in Greninja and go for another U-turn. So I think we just U-turn here. He actually did elect to stay in, so I am going to go right into my Swampert. Big time play there, has to be said. We do lose a defense drop. Now, as I said, if we remove this thing, it's a whole different ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Whole different ball game. Now, do I want a flip turn or do I want a high horsepower? I do have this. I should have enough speed to be able to speed this. I could also set up rocks, right? And I do not need this thing anywhere near as much because I have the. I don't have Melmetal that I need to contend with, but I might need this for the Cinderace. Let me go for the rocks here. I think rocks is actually quite important as we do take a bit of a chunk, and I am going to. I think we do high horsepower here, because I want this. I don't want this thing getting too much chip, and there we go, perfect. That'll trigger the emergency exit. He does get the citrus berry, so he actually stays in. And yes, I now know what this set is, but I got rocks and a layer spikes off, and that to me is fantastic. I am going to go into nerve, and for me it's just a simple knockoff here to trigger the emergency exit, or even a U-turn. I think we go knockoff though, as he goes out to the Diancie here. Okay, that's fine. We get a little bit of chip, we remove the lefties, then we go for a U-turn. I think we could potentially go out into the Slow King here. Sludge Bomb looks very free on this Slow King at this point. As we see, we eat up that Diamond Stone pretty nice. He does get that defense boost. I'm just going to go for the Sludge Bomb. We should be able to eat that hit. The Diamond Stone. That is a crit. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. That is quite unfortunate. But I don't see us doing anything else other than having to go for a. I think we have to go for the Scald here, right? I think it has to be done. We do eat that hit. Oh my god, that is nasty. Right, let's go into Clef Key. Or do I want to go into Grin? Do I want to go into Grin? Look, there's no denying that all sucks. There's no denying. Can I take a hit here? Let's find out. The Diancie, the Diamond Storm. I should be able to live one hit, right? I should be able to live a hit. I think we should be able to live a hit. So I am going to go into Grin. I think we do go into Grin. Oh, fuck me. Fuck. Right, okay. Alright, okay. That obviously does suck. But it's not the end of the world. We still have Mega Blaziken there in the back, ready to go. Blaziken in the back, ready to go. Speaking of Mega Blaziken, I could CC. CC is not a bad choice here. Not a bad choice. I could also maybe go into Nerve. Part of me is thinking Clef Keys might be a little bit better though. I think we will. Well, I think we do go into Clef Key. Right, I think we do go into Clef Key. I think we do click Play Rough, and we should kill. Thank you. In comes the Cinderace again. We see he's not Boots. That's good to know. That's good to know. I could T-Wave here. If I T-Wave this thing, right? If I T-Wave this thing, then that means my Mega Blaziken would always be able to kill it without being the +1 speed. And then Weavile, I know he's banded, so my Mega Blaziken will be able to kill that. The Gallipol will come in and he'll take all that damage. And then, yeah, I think we T-Wave. I think we just T-Wave this thing. I think that's all I gotta do. And this could be game at that point. I think we can just go into. I think we just go into the Blaziken at this point, and it's just CC, right? Mega Evolve, close combat, and we have the Gallipol. The Gallipol cannot come in here without triggering the emergency exit because he's on 51%, so it's chronic for him. He might have to go into Weavile here. He might have to go into the Milwaukee. That was scary. That was quite scary, but we're okay. We're all right. Whew. He made a great read on the Grin. Right, Milwaukee. He is going to have the grassy terrain. I think we just go out into our Tornadus. Yeah, I'm not giving you that, buddy. I'm sorry. That's just not happening. It's just never ever happening. I could Hurricane here. I could also knocking off this Evolite actually would be pretty tasty. Do I want to U-turn with the Porygon knocking around? Interesting. I think knockoff is actually nicer because he might go into the Gallipol. No, he won't go into Gallipol just yet. I think we could Hurricane though, and breaking this thing would be pretty slick. What is more useful to me here at this moment? Getting rid of that guy's this Weavile ban. I think we knock off. He goes for his own knockoff. He removes our heavy duty boots. So like, there's your Volite gone. He now knows that he is slower. So sorry, watch that. He is faster than me. What? He is faster than my Torn. Now that is interesting. That is interesting. That is interesting. Now he can't do too much to me, but that does pose him a bit of an issue here, right? I could Hurricane. I will Hurricane. I think he does U-turn. Does he go into Weavile? He goes into his Golisopod. He's going to get the emergency exit. He's done on the next re-entry, right? So that's fine. In comes the Porygon, who could be... Oh, that is pretty nasty, right? He could be Scarfed, right? Now, I should... Or he could be Specs, right? So if he's Scarfed and he goes for the tri-attack, he might kill me, right? But does he kill my Slowbro? Oh, sorry, my Slow King. Does he kill my Slow King? He will not. He will not. So I can go into my Slow King, and then depending on what move the Weavile locks itself into, it's GG's, I think, at that point. I think. Right, so I am going to go for the... I'm going to just go knock off here. Goes back into the good spot just to sack it, yeah. Okay. That means Weavile is in next. Weavile will have to lock himself into a move. More than likely Icicle Crash. I need the Slow King alive to deal with the Porygon. Well, the Porygon's dead on re-entry. That's fine. That's a big mistake. In comes the Weavile. Weavile has to lock himself into a move. Now, right? If he goes for the Ice Shard, we could maybe go out into the Slow King. There's no way we're living an Icicle Crash here. The Slow King live an Icicle Crash from a Weavile. He will not. He will not because he's banded. Icicle Crash. He will not. He will not given his current HP. So we have to keep this alive. I could honestly keeping this my Tornadus alive for this Thawaki is actually very important. I think just in case shit hits the fan. So I think we sack the Slow King here. He goes for a knockoff. That's GG's, I think. That is pretty much GG's. I just go into my Blaziken and we just click. Right, Weavile with the Ice Shot against Blaziken. Dash. Ice Shard does 17 to 20%. So I think we just click Flare Blitz twice. And it should be GG's, right? Yeah, GG's, because we get there. Yeah, that should be game, because he is banded, right? So that should be fine. Done. GG. Oh wow. Okay, so that was scary at one point, you guys. That was absolutely terrifying, but we managed to pick up the win. GG to Rabe. My God, that was quite scary. Woo. That moment when the Diancie was in and we lost the grid, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little bit touch and go then at that point, but I think we did alright. We kind of just played around what we saw in front of us. The Golisopod was a problem, but I always said it was going to be a bit of an issue, but worked out very, very well. Thankfully, when we got the hazards up, and we got ourselves in position, right? Actually, we should be okay. Blaziken should be able to win the game, so thankfully we got it. And yeah, that's it. Good game to our opponent. That makes us 2-0. Sorry, that's 2-0 with a +4 diff. Fantastic stuff. Feels good to actually win 2 games at the start of the season again, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there today, folks. If you guys have not already, please click the like button down below for me. It really does help the channel. Click that sub button if you want to see more Draft League content and competitive Pokemon content coming your way on this channel. And if you're not following me over on Twitch, links to that in the description down below. We do Draft League watch-alongs. We do Pokemon Showdown laddering, and we do viewer Wi-Fi battling and viewer Showdown battles as well. So definitely go check all that out. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here today. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.